I know who you are, but introduce yourself to me, man.
So my name's Nick. I go by ICONICK, ICONICK Arts. That's my art name, and then I also do a brand name that you'll see called Create and Conquer.
Create and Conquer,
So
yes.
it's like side thing. So artist name ICONICK, but then brand name Create and Conquer. So you kind of see them synonymous with each other. And that just came around, like around 2017. I was just doing wordplay. So my day job is graphic design.
I was gonna ask you about that. Creative director type shit, right?
Yeah, well now.
Well, okay, back then.
So back in 2017, starting out, had just moved. I moved here in 2015.
Same.
Okay, that's right. So yeah, getting my bearings out here. Scored a graphic design job. Playing around with images and words all day, right? So I'm chewing on the word, and one day it just clicks to me. It's Nick, ICONICK, and I was like, okay, that just fucking makes sense to me.
Come on, bro.
So bam, yeah, pulled the trigger on that, and just started doing art under, like, have my own little character, and then would always like find a way to work my name ICONICK into it.
It's so dope. I love my favorite one is the snake, or I guess I should say python.
Yeah, the big stretch one that you're talking about. Yeah, I love that one. So anyways, yeah, I came out here, put that together, and then I came up with this mantra that would just help me from piece to piece, and it was create and conquer, right? So I was out here, I had like no network, kind of starting from scratch, and I'm sure you know what that's like.
100%.
So coming out here, and then create and conquer was like helping fuel me. Like each piece, I'd be like, okay, like I gotta, like, for me personally, it's gonna mean something special to everybody, I think, but for me it was like, at that time, just fighting with anxiety and depression. It's like, create and conquer, right? Like, build your way out of it, like, do something about it, you know?
Love that.
And so that's like, create and conquer for me is like just getting you to that goal, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
whatever that is for you.
Yeah. Mine is find the fun. I like to use that as my mantra.
Just some kind of mantra to help you, like, things that you come back to all the time. That help get you through the day, and so that actually leads me into this my first solo gallery.
I was gonna get into that too, bro.
Yes,
That's
sir.
so dope, man.
Fucking stoked on that. So yeah, scored that, and the theme of that was kind of like around create and conquer, right? I wanted to play with words and then mix that with illustration. So that's where you kind of see like with wordplay, graphic design, come in with the character play.
And it's so clean.
And like sketching and just trying to like make those two work, right? Because it's been difficult, like trying to get the words to stand out with the character and find the balance.
Find that balance and merge it and just have that marriage on the platform, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Dude, you do it well, man. Like, it's so balanced and clean. Like, I could see it on endless products, dude, endless promotional, assets, digital assets, and things like that can really drive a company or a business out here.
I want it to be something that, like, for me, I'm a kind of more literal, so it's like I want it to actually speak to you, so I put words on it, and that's what this show had been centered around, was like trying to give people, these are little, like each piece was a motto or a saying or like a life lesson. It's just a couple words, right, that help put a thought in and help like motivate you, keep you going. So that's a lot of my themes, is like positivity and trying to just be like, you fucking got this, like just keep doing it. Dude. And having that mentality. You know what I mean? So that's like what the brand is about.
I love that, man. I want to see that like in offices more too. Like I can imagine, instead of like those old encouragement ones, like something new flavor to it, man. That's a good thing right there.
Trying to, right? Because it's like still trying to find out where it would live. You know what I mean? It blows my mind, like the people that it connects with, and that's what I love about the messages. Is like things that totally didn't mean for like me personally.
Right.
Someone else will see it and get something totally like get some inspiration out of it or things like that. And that just like that keeps me going. You know what I mean? It's just a circle of like creativity, and Denver just helps breed that.
Oh
like,
my God, bro! It's everywhere.
Yeah, just really being in the melting pot
flows.
of creativity and skills and talent in this city. It's just been like an endless source of inspiration for me, and then I try to do my best to contribute back to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a gift that keeps giving out here. I mean, anyone who appreciates the student mentality, this is a perfect place for you, because you'll never stop learning. even if it's something that you feel like you've mastered, someone will come at it with a different approach, a different angle of looking at it that will challenge the way that you've seen it, and for most, and you would hope that like leads someone to want to learn more and more and more.
No doubt, man. Like, it's crazy how it's an endless tap. Like literally, you say when you master something, like I still get to the point like I master eating, but I still bite my tongue. Like there's always something to learn. You know what I mean,
bro? 100%.
Down to that level. And that's like it. I love that part of being out here. So originally being from Nashville, moving out here.
I was getting ready to ask, where are you from?
Yeah, originally from Nashville, born and raised out in the East. You know,
where they play guitars with the teeth, right?
Man, yeah.
Very musical place.
Different scene, right?
Talk to me about like how was it coming up in that environment?
Different, man. So grew up in like skateboarding and comic books. Cartoons, all that stuff. Yeah. You see that in some of my work, or I try to get it in there. So yeah, like you'll pull elements from like Dragon Ball Z and Calvin and Hobbes and stuff like that. But it was different, man. Being in Nashville, like very much and kind of an outcast, like a little bit of a misfit. Because the art scene is just like you don't have that endless tap, right? Like in Denver,
you have to fight a little bit more for it.
Yeah, right.
You kind of have to know.
You just get a couple buddies, there's a little network out there. But coming out here, like I literally just plopped myself in Denver, and it just like all these amazing people fell in my lap. And it was like that was my whole thing to myself coming out here. I was like, just go show up, like. Because I tend to be super introvert, but I'll be like, I got to get out there. I think in this community, you're not going to make it without other people. No matter how talented you are. I just don't, like, without helping build each other up, you're not going to last. Feel like. Just not going to last.
Nah, man.
So that's it. And that's what's like, we found this, like, perfect little, like, I would say trifecta, I guess, of, like, skill, location, and then just accessibility to have these art shows, to have these venues.
The accessibility is big.
It's something I don't know how to even put it into words, but you come out here and you feel it. Like it's just part of a Denver culture where you don't. And you're from the East Coast, I heard.
Ish. It's Midwest. I mean, KC's still Midwest and shit.
Fair, but it's a different vibe out there, right?
It really is. And it's not. And you talk about access, you just don't have as much of it.
Not to say it's not there, but it's just.
But the allowance, it's allowed to be more prevalent here than it is in where I'm from. Like that shit is shut down.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. The encouragement.
Rhino, like having a whole neighborhood.
And that's not the only one. There's several.
Oh yeah, it's top of mind.
Do you know? Like so, it's big to be able to have a place like this that can not only accept you but like flourish you.
Oh man, you know like back to just being a student of life every day. You know what I mean? And that's just what I try to make myself go through every day. Is like, what can I learn? Like. I'll bring my skills. What's the lesson? Yeah, I'll bring my skills to the table, but I'm here to learn. You know what I mean? Like humble me. So that's just like that's kind of like been my motto. And then this year, like started taking on. I got one art show and trying to take on a few more, and just sooner or later get to divert all my attention towards that. You know what I mean? But that's actually one thing we could talk about. Is like
I wanted to get into that.
Trying to make this work, right?
Yeah.
Like trying to make this hustle work.
And the balance that you have to find.
It's hard, man.
Dude, talk about it.
It's so hard.
How do you do it?
It's hard to navigate it because I feel like I've tried and failed so many ways. I can tell you personally, like this is the first month in my life. Not the first month, but last month was the first month I've been able to ever I paid all my bills just with my paintings.
Oh, right? Okay. Shouts out to you, bro.
Thank you, man. Yeah, that was a big one for me.
Dude. That's hard. Good for you.
Hard to do. So finally got to that point and just working towards a tipping point of like trying to get that craft down to where you could live off of it, things like that. But I hadn't found a way. So like I do my day job, which you brought up the marketing director. So I'm a creative marketing director during the day, like 9 to 5, 40 100%. Hours a week on the grind. And then when I'm done with that, I just use every ounce of energy I've got left on ICONICK and just trying to make this stuff work.
70 to 100 hour weeks, baby.
It's hard, man. Yeah. And I see everyone's got their own way of making it work. You know what I mean? It's just what I've done. Like I make sure, because I've got so many other, like between student debt and just all these bills and the price of living in Denver, all these things, it stacks up real quick, right? Yeah. And it's like, how am I going to do that? And so that's what I'm working towards. Is like, want to be able to provide like streetwear and original art, but I still want to have affordable art too.
Exactly.
So it's like trying to plan that out and be able to have like a gallery somewhere, right? A clothing spot somewhere else, and then
merch it.
And then merch.
Oh, well, you know, yeah.
Merch and all that stuff in between, just trying to make this art more accessible for people. Because growing up, I couldn't afford it. We just made it ourselves, right?
Yeah, and we use what we had,
and
too.
you didn't even know where to find it.
That's what I'm saying.
At least now
you just look the fuck around.
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. Like, lucky,
literally.
you know what I mean? Who made this?
Yeah.
Whatever. But now it's like you've got endless amounts of artists at your fingertips.
It's
beautiful.
beautiful.
So it's like,
it's so cool. I want to talk about your painting. I want to talk about your style, man. Like, cause it's simple, but it's so dramatic. You know what I mean? And it's. I want to know, how did you develop that, and how did you develop? Like, I know your technique as well. So I guess those are two questions.
yeah.
So let me slow down. Let me.
No, we can dive into it.
First, your style. How did you get your style? Like with your character.
Style is like it's a long road, right? Like where you just kind of like chip away at it, pulling influence from all over. I can say like some of the biggest ones, like I touched on earlier, would just be like those like Toonami, like all that stuff,
yes.
you know. That's where like you see like my flowing lines and like trying to like make their poses very dynamic.
And
things
motion.
like that. Like you know, I started out like back in the day. I was in grade school drawing Goku and whatnot, trying to figure that out. And so pulling that, and like I would always try to draw characters, and that was one of the like hardest parts of like finding your style, is like, what the fuck do I draw?
Right.
You know what I mean? What, like, I want to draw, but what do I draw? So
subject.
would like, yeah, I would just try people and things like that, and eventually I like made this wonky drawing of this guy like standing on these two beams and like catching an arrow.
Dude, that shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So
it's so dope to me, man. Like,
yeah, I love that piece because it's special to me in a big way, because that was the first piece I made, and I looked at it and I was like, I really like these proportions. I'm gonna try.
That's what it was for me.
And so then you see, like, from that point on, you see me start stretching and trying to find the right fit and things like that. So that's where the proportions came from. And then, so I'm drawing these characters all the time, and I just feel like I would draw one, think it was dope, right? And then I go to the next one, look back and be like, man, it's not that great. Like, there was something missing, and for me, it was like a message, because I'm doing wordplay all day long. So I was like, okay, I need to slip some words in here. And let it actually speak to people, because I feel like anymore, like, we're so busy and distracted, like
so much advertising.
When is the last time you really sat down and just looked at a piece of work and like pulled something from it deep? I mean, not to say that we don't, but it's just less common, right, than it might have used to be before technology. And so that's where it's like, I needed something else to like connect with people.
Yes.
As I was like, you don't have that much time to spend like staring. Not everyone has that much time to spend like pulling messages from art. So I was like, I'll just put it in there for you and try and make it look dope.
Kind of put it on the nose a little bit for you, you know?
Yeah, just a little like spoon feed you, just because I know like I probably only got a couple seconds, if not maybe a couple minutes,
to really engage someone,
to hit you with something. Yeah, so that's where I was like, and when I started doing that, it connected for me. And at the end of the day, like, that's what it is. It's like me versus me. It's just the yesterday you know what I mean? Trying to do better. So I started doing that, and I was like actually happy with all the pieces and how it's all coming together. It speaks to me. It reminds me of like all these little things that help me get through day to day.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's when I hit that, I was like, this is good enough for me. Like you won't see me obsess over like trying to make it perfect down to the last like bit. Like, it's just kind of like thrown together sometimes. You know what I mean? It seems kind of quick, like not like it's detailed, but not.
Do you premeditate it, or is it freestyle?
A lot of it is premeditated.
Okay.
Yeah, I will sit there, like the piece is almost done in my head before I do it. And going back to like why they're simplistic was that I struggled with color and like personally. So you can see I could draw whatever, I could draw comfortably, but when it came to shading, when it came to color, like I would just struggle. And so just like trial and error, right? Like finally I'm starting to feel like I'm in a better space with it and like kind of drawing my colors down and stuck to the basics and kept like a system of like, you know, dark, middle, light, and like I set it aside and like actually get my colors, whereas like up until the point like I normally just like I might mix like freestyle and just kind of like, you know, whip it all together, right? And I was like, okay, like it looks like thrown together. I want it to be clean because design has to be clean, like real clean.
Your shit's clean, dog.
That. So that was like my next priority was just making it crisp, and kind of hence the style. You know what I mean? You pull those wonky cartoon comic shapes into like clean typography and design,
right?
And that weird juxtaposition and like trying to make them sit together,
right? And so how do you? I want to get more specifically. How do you what's your technique, I guess, if you want to spill the sauce, my dude?
Oh man, stay curious. Like stay fucking curious is the real one. Because there's not, it mixes up by day. I would say like, I'll try different things because I know I've learned how to. You'll see me do watercolor brushes. You'll see me do pen and ink and acrylic and latex and a handful of murals. Just fucking don't be afraid to try it. It's not like I just look at it as like everything's a opportunity to learn, and if I fuck it up, like I'll learn it even faster.
That's
you know
what I'm saying,
like,
dude. Finding the fun, finding the silver lining.
Yeah, because I will say, like, my early art career, I spent so much time like tiptoeing around, like, well, what if I fuck it up, or like, what if I mess the wall up? And I was like, I'm gonna waste so much fucking time worrying about this, but if I just go do it,
come on.
If I just go do it, I'll learn from myself real time, and it makes the experience richer. You know what I mean? Like looking back on it, I'm like, I actually like the parts where I fucked up because I'm like, okay, I like boom, life lesson. Thank you. Like,
it's a gift. It becomes a gift that you get to go back and revisit. You know, it keeps that gumption fresh.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because that's the shit I like when it hits you hard and you're like, made that life lesson. Like, I'm not gonna forget that one now.
You can't.
Boom.
You can't.
And that's a piece almost right there.
Yeah.
Like, I like to do that.
Ooh, I like how you put that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that comes back to like those things I try to put in those pieces are moments like that where life just hit you for a minute and you're like, oh.
Hell yeah,
okay. I need to remember that.
Yeah,
I need to hang on to that. Let me keep that in my pocket.
For sure.
And I want to pass that through my work. And make that just a vehicle of like, guys, these are all the things I fucking learned.
Right, dude.
Trying. What you get out of it, you know what I mean?
Learn from me.
Yeah, there you go. Like
experience these things.
Learn from my mistakes, right? That's about
real.
do it yourself.
You know?
Don't do it yourself because I'm trying to pass it out.
Dude, I feel that. Well, I guess that's part of my next question. Like, what are your biggest goals moving forward with your art? Like,
biggest goals.
You know what I mean? What's the biggest mission for you, you know, moving forward with it?
Threading that needle, just making it work, right? Like, and not like being paycheck to paycheck, but just living life comfortably, creating, and getting to work with like other people and things like that, and just help building that community. Because here's the deal: is like it was in like full bloom to me right before COVID. I was like moved out here, downtown Denver. I'm about to get the real experience. Everything's shut down, right? So
it was
miss out on like 2 years of all that experience. So I'm like, what can I do now to help like get it back to that? Anything I can help with the community, with just trying to like inspire someone or just be active in art in general. You know what I mean? Just bringing that piece to the table.
Got you.
And get things like ramped back up in Denver the way that I know they can.
Yeah, man, because you know when it gets up and fucking popping, when it really gets up and popping.
Yeah, it's like, it's hard to compete with us.
Bro, some say this is the summer, man. This is the summer that people are really about to start stepping out again.
I think so.
You know
I really hope so, man. And fingers crossed. Yeah, I've booked a few shows. Like, it's time to get busy.
It's time to get busy, my boy. Yes, sir.
Right.
Oh, dude, check that out. Talk to me me about that. What's the flags?
Yeah.
What does the flags mean?
I'll talk to you about. So in my work, you'll see this a lot. Like not specific. This is new. This is my new logo for Create and Conquer.
Yeah. The flags. Put your flags.
You see the 2 heart flag. So that's like never give up on what you love. Is the flags.
All right.
I tried to play with it, so it's like kind of like CC, like Create and Conquer. And then this whole shirt is actually made by All Star Zinc.
All Star Zinc.
Let me show it off. Yeah.
Shout out All Star Zinc, baby. Let me see that fucking shit. Let me look at that quality, yo.
So that's the piece we talked about.
Yes, sir. Oh my God, so cool. And the depth, bro. The depth that you're able to capture with such simple strokes, man. God damn, why?
Shout out All Stars.
Shout out All Stars again, man. We love y'all so much. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cop me one of them for sure. And it reminds me of like some yin and yang. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. A little bit of
fell
grip.
back on the couch, trying to possess me. Well, dude, I appreciate you coming through, man. This has been fun as fuck, and I'm excited, bro.
This has been such a blast. Like getting to work with you guys.
Come on, baby.
Fuck you.
Oh,
man.
Now let's light up another one, man. Let's do it.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap, baby. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that shit.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
Couch.
Couch.